text message. So, reply back to a text message. All those things are tracking how many conversations they have, which lead to appointments, which lead to contracts, which lead to escrows. Another thing that I believe is the way lead generation looks like for successful people is they choose a few things and get really good at them. So one of the people in the video talked about there's lots of different ways we can lead generate. And we're actually going to brainstorm that here in a few minutes. And that you might try a few different things. What you really want to do though is focus on 3 to 4 things that you enjoy doing that you would actually get out of bed in the morning and do, and then get really good skills in those areas. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Maybe cold calling is not something that you really see yourself doing. Fine, you don't have to make that a part of your plan, just as long as you're picking 3 or 4 other things that are going to be a part of your plan. So maybe door knocking and farming is a part of your plan. Social media, I know, is a part of everyone's plan these days, especially because of COVID. It got a lot easier for us to reach out to people in social media. Open houses can be a great part of your plan. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You have to ask yourself, because you're your own business owner. There's nobody who's going to fire you at the end of the day except yourself. Okay. So what are you going to get out of bed every day and consistently do? And if cold calling is not something that you would consistently do, don't make it a part of your plan. Now, one thing, I keep using cold calling as an example. It could be door knocking, it could be other things that you have a fear around. If you were taught how to do it correctly and you practiced it, would you be more likely to do it? There was another person in the video who said he would definitely do door knocking again because it got him in front of people. It taught him how to be rejected, which we are in a no business. You can write that down too. In real estate, you're in a no business. Every no is one step closer to a yes. So you have to get used to the no's because they're a part of the business. Getting no's, you should pat yourself on the back for those because it means you're out there doing it. If you're not getting any no's, you're not doing it. Another thing you can write down is if your phone's not ringing, it's because you're not dialing. If your phone's not ringing, it's because you're not dialing. So what are 3 to 4 things that you want to do in real estate that you're going to take classes on and you're going to build your skills and you're going to get out there and you're going to get rejected and do until you get better and better and better at them. And that's what successful real estate agents do, is they make that a part of their plan. So that leads us to the 4th question. How do you prefer to work with people? How do you think that affects your lead generation efforts? How do you like to work with people? Are you more of a social media person? Are you more of a face-to-face person? All those things are things you have to ask yourself about, so that when you're choosing the types of lead generation that you're going to do, you put your personality into it. You make it a part of who you are. And then remember, you might have some nerves or fears around certain parts of lead generation when you're first getting started. Is that because you just need to be taught how to do it correctly? Because at Keller Williams, we have classes for everything, and there's plenty of ways that we can teach you so that you can get over those fears and build skills and be successful. Okay, any other thoughts around those questions before I move on?
Laura, I'll add to that. The question of how do you like to work with people? I like to work with people who want to work with me. So my number 1 is my sphere.
Yep. And by the way, your number 1 should be your sphere. You're always growing your sphere of influence. It's who you already know, but you're going to add to that throughout your life. And there's going to be plenty of people that you're going to meet through lead generation that are going to become a core part of your sphere. Your core part, I always think of a bullseye as that center of your bullseye as your core part. Those people that know you the best are your natural cheerleaders in your business. They're out there marketing you so that you don't just do it all on your own. They're helping you with your marketing. You should work with Melissa. She's the best. She helped us with this property and she was amazing. Her follow through was amazing. All the things that they say about you is an endorsement for other people to work with you. So I agree with you, Melissa. That was my favorite part too. And your sphere of influence, the people you've met, is definitely a part of that lead generation, because it's not so much lead generation at that point as lead follow-up, because you already know them. And then you want, as you're building a business and growing a database, you want to add some sources of lead generation by meeting people you don't know, which could be open houses, door knocking, for sale by owners, expireds. Although, in fact, I think that leads us to your next page, page 6, talks about what does it mean to be prospecting and what does it mean to be marketing. So let me get the slideshow going here really quick again. Make sure my slideshow's on. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so we're at the video. We just finished the video, and now we're going to talk about the difference between prospecting and marketing. Okay. And what you're seeing here is that they're recommending when you start in real estate that you should be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. So when you look at this triangle, the base of the triangle is that you're prospecting based. Okay. So prospecting is when you are going out to find leads. It's time intensive, but less money intensive. Takes more of your time. So for example, an open house takes your time. It's likely at least a 5-hour event because there's planning before, there's a 3-hour open house, there's time afterwards, could be some door knocking. It could be, I actually say an open house is a week-long event because there's a lot of planning you should be doing and door knocking you should be doing ahead of time. So it's time intensive, but it doesn't cost so much money. It's proactive. It's you going to people. It's you knocking doors. It's you going to open houses, and it can give you immediate results. So we recommend that as a new agent, you start with more prospecting than you do marketing, because we want you to earn some money before you're spending a bunch of money on marketing. Okay, so we want you closing some deals and then taking part of that money and putting it into a marketing budget. Marketing is more money intensive. Marketing is you attracting leads and them seeking you out. So for example, a mailing campaign, you might have a farm with 500, 1,000, 1,500 homes in it, and you're sending mailings to them, postcards, newsletters, whatever it is. That costs money and it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight. So as people continue to get things in the mail from you, they're going to start remembering you in relationship to real estate. Even if they recycle everything you send, they're still looking at it quickly and they start to remember who you are. Okay. It's much more passive. It takes a lot longer for results. And so we want you to sprinkle that in as you're already making money. If after you've closed some deals, you add to your marketing budget. We want you starting with prospecting, which again is much more immediate results because it's much more proactive. It's you going after them. It also is more time intensive than money intensive. Let me see what the next slide is. Okay, so before we go on, in your handouts on page 6, there's the difference between prospecting and marketing. Like I said before, we could brainstorm at least 10 different ways that you can prospect, that you can lead generate. Okay, FSBOs, expireds, just sold homes, just listed homes. I believe that's marketing campaigns where maybe on social media. Past clients, allied resources, a geographic farm, apartments, corporations, builders, banks, third-party companies, investors, door-to-door canvassing, client parties, networking events, social functions and community events, seminars, booths at events, teaching and speaking opportunities, kiosks and high traffic areas. Those are all where you're going out to find leads. So definition of prospecting, you go out to find the lead. And then below that is marketing. Definition of marketing, you attract the leads and they seek you out. And so you're talking about different types of advertising, broadcasting, online marketing, farming, direct mailing, promotionals, PR, sponsorships. So those are just some examples. And so when you're thinking about being an agent who's focusing on their lead generation efforts, and I mentioned earlier that your database, your sphere of influence is always part of that because those are the people you've already met. You want to add 3 sources of people you have not met and get really good at those 3 sources. So it could be FSBOs and expireds, it could be a geographic farm, and it could be open houses or that you could be adding. The reason why I don't recommend more than 3 is because there's only one of you. For you to get really good and dig deep into the skills, you want to focus on 3 and not more than 3. If you're focusing on more than 3, you're going to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. It's a master of none, more of a skimming the surface than it is a deep dive. Okay, so the first part of our funnel was we looked at the lead generation model and we talked about lead generation. Now you understand the concept of generating leads, that you're going to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. You're going to pick 3 prospecting sources, plus you're going to be reaching out to your sphere of influence, and then you're going to sprinkle some marketing in there. Now we're going to talk about, once you've generated these leads, what does it look like to have a database? Okay. Before I go on, questions so far? Any questions? Any thoughts?
No.
All right. Thank you for participating. I appreciate it. So we're going to talk about a database. Your database, you're going to hear it called a CRM, contact management system. It's the location where you're putting all of the contact information of the people that you've met. Okay. So it centrally stores your information. You update it regularly. You can organize it. It can meet specific needs, and the lead generation feeds into your database. Okay, so the lead generation you're doing, you put into your database. There's actually 4 laws to a database. Anybody know what the 4 laws are? If you read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, it's in there. The 4 laws to the database are: number 1, you build it. You build it and you classify it, make categories. Number 2, you feed it, which is adding new people. So you build it, you feed it. Number 3, you communicate to it systematically through follow-up campaigns, what we call SMART plans. And number 4, you service any leads that you get from it, which is in your follow-up campaigns and goes into your pipeline and beyond. So you build it, you feed it, you communicate to it, and you service the leads. Those are the 4 laws of the database. Okay, so the database again is your second segment. First segment was lead generation. That was your prospecting and your marketing. Your second segment to the data to your lead generation funnel is the database. And it's made up of 2 different categories. It's made up of leads. I got to move you guys over here. Let me move you over here. It's made up of leads and contacts. Do you guys know what the difference between the 2 is? What's the difference between a lead and a contact?
You said lead people we don't know?
Yeah, the contacts are people you already know, right? And leads are people that you don't know yet. So mets and have not met. So you can put on contacts, you can put you right above it mets, and on top of leads, right, not mets, okay? And then just to define it more, leads, you have a valid contact information and can have a one-way conversation where you're seeking permission. So let's just think about this. You go to you're doing an open house, and your goal at the open house, you know that there's 20 to 30 people that are going to walk through the door, and your goal is that you're going to meet and have really good conversations with 5. You're going to walk away leaving that open house with communicating at a deeper level with 5 leads that you actually captured their information. You got their name, you got their phone number, you got their email address, maybe even a property address. And then you're going to follow up with them and seek permission to continue to be in relationship with them because you want to become their real estate agent, either to sell a property or to buy a property. So you have a valid contact information, and you can have a one-way conversation where you're seeking permission to be in business together. That's a lead. And then a contact is you have valid contact information and you've already received permission to have a two-way conversation. So it's all of the people you know who have said, yeah, I would love for you to keep in touch with me when it comes to real estate. I'd love to get market updates from you and bits of information, and I'm happy to support you in your business. So even those people that you know, you should still be asking, qualifying that they are willing to talk to you about real estate. There's lots of people you know that might say to you, and here's the script around that. Let's see, Tin, you're my first one. You're the one I can see, so I'm going to work with you. It'd be Tin, if you were thinking about buying or selling real estate, or you had a friend or a family member or a coworker who was thinking about buying or selling or investing in real estate, do you have a realtor that you'd refer them to?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you do. And I hope that that person continues to take great care of you. If that were to ever change, I would love to be that person.
Perfect. Thank you.
So he's already said, nope, he's already got somebody that he's going to work with. So why would I spend my time, money, energy, resources on someone who's just told me that they're going to work with somebody else? They're not going to be a high lead or a high contact in my database. Okay. I might stay in touch with them just a little bit because there's always the chance that something's going to change in the future, but they're not going to be a core part of my plan that I'm spending a lot of time and money on. Now, let's say that he has said, no, Laura, I don't have a realtor that, that I would refer people to. Then I would then say to him, well, I would love to be that person for you. Would it be okay if I stayed in touch with you from time to time and shared market updates and bits of information about real estate? I'm not going to inundate your inbox. I'm not going to bug you all the time, but I would love to stay in touch with you and give you helpful information. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. And in order for me to do that, every once in a while, I like to send a market update. What's the best email that I would send that to? And I'm going to wait with my pen for him to give me that email address. So I'm going to say, in order for me to send you some market updates from time to time, I love to send you helpful information. What's the best email address I'm going to send it to?
Yeah. 10
And-
at.
Yep.
Some,
And I'm
you know that.
waiting. And I'm waiting for him to give it to me. And wonderful. And you know, every once in a while, I might want to give you a call with some cool information. Sometimes I do some client parties. I'd love to invite you. What would be the best phone number for me to reach you? 408
221-1122.
How nice I was and how easy that. If you start with the prefix, if you start with 408, then they'll either go, actually it's 510 or actually it's whatever, and they'll give you the number. So start with the first three numbers. Okay. Thank you so much. And you know, I'd also, Tin, I'd love to drop some business cards in the mail to you so that you have some of my cards in case you ever want to hand them out. What's the best address I should send those business cards to?
Do you want me to act, or do you want me like, I mean, give you like, you know what? That's too much information. My email and phone number is enough.
Okay, fair enough. I understand. Maybe sometime in the future, I'll get a chance to get that from you, but not a problem today. So, you know, you're just being friendly and polite and professional, right? And it's gonna go a long way. So that's the way that you're getting permission to have two-way communication with people. First, you're seeking permission, then you're getting permission. Hey, you guys, those types of scripts are in the script books that are in the toolkit that Jackie put in the chat for you guys. You got to practice your scripts. Okay, so that's the difference. Yes.
Real quick. So for the first example, somebody has an agent. I mean, that's an objection that you can always overcome or provide information and value throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
Say it's their cousin or their family member. They're like, I have an agent, but they really never really talk to them about real estate. You can still uncover and see how strong that relationship is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I did it pretty quickly with you. Usually you did a very quick answer. You just said yes. A lot of times people will say, yeah, you know, my sister is my realtor and I'm always going to use her. And it's like, totally get it. I totally understand. And sometimes people will say, yeah, I have somebody that we have to use because it's a family member, but I would never necessarily refer that person to anyone else. I've had people tell me that. So I'm happy to refer you business. So usually people will give you a little bit more detail and then you know which way to go with the conversation. Okay, I realize we're running out of time. So then the next thing that comes to, once you've gotten permission to reach out to people, with your leads, we have follow-up plans for you. We recommend 19 follow-up plans per year to connect with someone. They're going to be 4 touches or a quarterly phone call, which means you have to have their phone number. 12 touches are going to be in monthly email newsletter, market report. It could even be with a video. 2 touches are going to be some kind of promotional, like a magnet or a calendar, something with your contact information on it. Refrigerator magnets. I used to have kids tell me all the time, your pictures on my refrigerator. Had that all the time with my kids were growing up. And then some kind of client get together that you invite people to, because you're trying to convert them into a contact. And then once they are a contact, you've got 36 to convert. So 36 touches a year, which divided by 12 is 3 a month. So those are 4 telephone calls. Those are quarterly. 26 bi-weekly email offerings. You're touching them twice a month that way. Some sort of event or get together, and then also some sort of touching, which is a promotional campaign, magnets, calendars, like I talked about before. You divide that into the calendar, and the goal is that you're touching somebody 3 times a month so that they are remembering you every single month when they're thinking about real estate. So that's what goes into the database follow-up. There very quickly, I'm going to show you guys some command information really quick. I'm going to come back to that. But the final thing that we want to talk about is the pipeline report. So hold on, let me just get there. The last part is the sales pipeline. So first you've got your lead generation model, which you guys have on page, what page is it? Page 4. And then you've got your different types of lead gen. And then on page 7, it talks to you about the different types of follow-up campaigns, 19 or 36. And so what you've got is your lead gen model, then you're doing your lead generation, then you're putting people into a database and you're following up. And then you're going to get people who funnel through and actually become clients of yours. And they're going to go into your sales pipeline. So at that point, you're in the 3rd segment of the lead generation model. You're in the sales pipeline. And that's when people have said, hey, we need to meet with you because we want to buy or sell a house. And you're having appointments with them. They become active clients. You're either actively showing them property and writing offers, or you're actively getting a listing and preparing a property to go on the market. Then you become under contract, which we call escrow in California. You'll be in escrow. And then that leads to a successful closing at the end. So that's how the whole funnel works, okay? And for your homework today, this is what you guys want to be doing. You've got 2 hours of homework where you need to go into your Ignite toolkit and grab the scripts. You want to find an accountability partner that you're practicing your scripts with, and you want to be doing some script practice. Then you want to be doing your daily 10-4. Reach out to 10 people you know and talk about your career in real estate, and use the same kind of dialogue that I just used in order to capture more of their information. Then you want to meet 10 people you don't know through some source of generation. Okay, you want to send 10 follow-up handwritten notes. It's a great way to build your business. Stick some business cards in there, and then you want to preview 10 properties. That's your daily 10-4. Okay, so then the final thing that I want to share with you guys is that it's really important to get all of this put into your command database. This is where you're going to be able to house. Let me just share a command really quick with you. This is where you're going to be able to house all your people inside of contacts. You're going to put all your contacts in here. Let's see if it's switching. It's being slow, but your contacts are going to go in here, and you're going to be able to do your smart plans, which are your follow-up plans from here. There's tons of designs in here where you can be creating designs to use for social media campaigns, for print marketing, email marketing, social media marketing. You have lots of smart plans here that are your follow-up plans. And then finally over here where the handshake is, that's what we call opportunities. That's our pipeline report inside of Command. And so you're going to be then, once you're moving people into the funnel, you're going to be moving them into Command. Hopefully this is quick. While that's loading, I want to show you guys one other thing. So I'm going back over here to KW Connect. Tim, does it say Connect for you right there? You're muted, sorry.
Yes, it does
Okay.
get connected.
So I'm going to click on KW Connect really quick right here, and I want to show you that right here it says technology. If you don't know how to do some of the stuff in Command, you go to the technology tab and you're going to see here where it says training and resources. When you click on training and resources, this is one of the ways you can get trained on KW Command. And it says, hi, Laura Gleason, what are you looking for today? It says, I'm ready to learn Command. And you can click get started, okay? So if I click on get started here, it's going to bring me down. And if I go, I want to command my database. I want to learn how to do my contacts and my smart plans. If I click on this, you just keep scrolling, you guys. It's going to tell you recommended trainings. If I hit this arrow pointing down, it has how to build your database, how to add neighborhoods to your contacts, how to systemize your communication. And when you click on each of these, there's actually videos that go along and teach you how to do it inside of Command. So there's tons of short videos here. Look, this one's only 1 minute. The biggest one is a 10-minute video here that show you how to use Command. So again, you go to KW Connect, you click on technology, go to training and resources. And if you're just scrolling down, it's going to tell you if you want to build your database, if that's the first thing, which should be the first thing you're learning. It's going to teach you how to do all of those things. We also offer classes in the office, of course, and I know at the Santa Clara Valley office, we also have Scott Leroy Tech Support, which is another way that you can get a bunch of training on our calendar every day that teach you how to use the systems. So very quickly, I went back to Command, and you're going to see here I'm in opportunities, which is our pipeline report. It's showing listings and it's showing buyers. So every single person that I may be working with as a listing, as a seller, or as a buyer, I can move from the contacts portion into the pipeline portion and watch them go from cultivate to appointment to active to under contract to close. Okay, that's the beauty of using Command for your functions of your database, your pipeline, and all of the things you do, because it's all in one place. Okay, we're pretty much out of time today. Again, you have 2 hours of homework. You're supposed to be finding an accountability partner, practicing your scripts, doing your daily 10-4, okay, and working on adding people to Command. That would be your homework. Are there any questions that anybody has for me as we wrap up the first hour of today?
Are we coming back here?
Nope, you're on your own for the last 2 hours.
Okay.
I would also say that you should be seeking out whoever your productivity coach or your mentor is to be working on your your Ignite skills. Be checking in with whoever in your office is running everything. For Santa Clara Valley, that would be Mark. You guys want to be checking in with Mark to make sure that you're continuing to hit your goals that you're setting and work on all of your Ignite skills. And then Jackie, who is it for you guys at Silicon City?
Sorry, what was the question?
The productivity coach?
Oh, that would be Roberta.
Okay. So I would be checking in with those folks. All right. Any
Hey,
other
Laura,
questions?
I had a question. I put it
Yes.
in
Oh,
and you haven't read that yet, so
Oh,
probably.
here we go.
will you drop all of it in again?
I-
Oh, I can read it to you if you want.
Oh,
So it's how do you proceed when one of the sphere is almost ready to list a property? What would be next? And how about getting the property ready for sale?
okay. Harish, are you working with a mentor or a coach?
No, not yet.
Okay. You need to seek out Hilda in your office or Jackie to get you to the right resources that can help you with that. Okay. Because I know that there's people there that are there at the Silicon City office that can help you. Okay. And that's great. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Laura, I had a question.
Yes, and
I'm-
before you ask your question, Jackie, will you drop the link in again one more time so everybody can get that while Georgeline is asking her question? Thank you. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right toolkit. Is the homework written on the toolkit? Or is it what you
Okay.
stated? Just so that I don't miss anything.
The homework, let me see your. Might have been in yesterday's homework. So can you just write it down and I'll give it to you one more time?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you guys ready? So here, maybe I'll even type it in. So homework. That helps. Homework would be to practice scripts, get an accountability partner, practice your scripts, do the daily 10-4, which is talk to 10 people you don't know, talk to 10 people you do know. That will give you 100 people a week that you're talking to, you guys, if you do this 5 days a week. 10 handwritten follow-up notes. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Preview 10 properties. Add contacts to the KW command database. Okay, there you go. There's your homework for the next couple of hours. Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. Any other questions? All right, you guys, remember Ignite goes Monday through Friday from 9 to 10 this week. 9 to 10 is the course part, and then 10 to 12 is your homework time for you guys to be working on your homework. And definitely check your PDF handouts for the class, for each class. Oh, I'm trying to get it in front of me. And then also check that Ignite toolkit, which has a lot of information in it. Thank you so much for being with me today. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you so much, Laura.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Laura.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.